Alright, we got our second trailer for Pacific Rim Uprising. I didn't make a video about the first trailer. I really wanted to, but I didn't. But let's talk about the second trailer. It starts out with John Boyega as Jake Pentecost, who is the son of Idris Elba's character Stacker Pentecost from the first movie. Right there, I'm like, okay. He never mentioned having a son in the first movie. We saw how he raised Mako from when she was a child. I mean, I'm sure it'll be explained in this one. Mako is in this movie. She might have a scene with Jake where they talk about it. But I like how Jake Pentecost is this kind of playboy. You see him in his awesome backyard with like this kaiju skeleton right there. I want that backyard. I think my neighbors have a backyard like that. So it looks like he's our main character in the movie. Hell, he's on the poster. And I'm really glad he has his British accent. But then the trailer goes on and I'm like, who's the chick? She reminds me of the kid from Transformers 5. She's like this independent, like, hacker girl. Right when she takes that one Jaeger, like that tiny Jaeger out and it starts rolling, I'm like, oh, this is starting to look like Transformers. And that's the thing that a lot of people are complaining about with these trailers, is that these Jaegers don't look as big and they don't move as slow as the Jaegers in the first one. They're a little smaller and they move faster, which is reminding people of Transformers. And yeah, a lot of the appeal of the first one is that these Jaegers were huge and they moved slow, and that was just how it looked like it should be. That's one of the reasons I love the first one. But this movie taking place 10 years after the first one, the technology's evolving. These Jaegers, yeah, they might not be as badass as Gypsy Danger ever was, but they don't look as bad as Transformers, you know? They are bigger than the Transformers, and they are slower than the Transformers. They're not as slow as the original Jaegers, but they are slower than the Transformers. They're not quite Transformers. They are more Transformers-like than the original Jaegers. You know what I'm saying, right? I do like the fact that the kaijus have come back to Earth. They're bigger than ever, and people are like, why are they back? And the scientists are like, someone let them in. Someone from Earth. Right there, I'm like, that's really interesting. That looks like escalation in the story, like a sequel should do. Who in their right mind from Earth would let the kaiju back in? And we see who might be the suspect here. It looks like there might be a rogue Jaeger, because John Boyega and other Charlie Hunnam are in one Jaeger. They're like, who is that?
Who is that?
Definitely not one of ours.
Let's do this.
And then they get into a scuffle, and, you know, that's the Jaeger on Jaeger fight that we saw in the first trailer. I like the fact that we have Jaegers fighting Jaegers now. The first movie didn't have that. And yeah, Charlie Hunnam as Raleigh Beckett is just not in this movie at all. Although we do have someone who really looks like him. It's Scott Eastwood as, what's his character's name? Nathan Lambert, I think it was. I find the resemblance to be truly striking between Scott Eastwood, Charlie Hunnam, and Garrett Hedlund. I don't know, all three of those actors just look the same to me. But we still have yet to know the backstory of Scott Eastwood in this movie. But I also love the fact that we have returning characters from the first one. Mako is coming back, like I said. I'm really glad she's coming back because she was probably the most interesting character in the first movie. And the scientists, Charlie Day and Bern Gorman, I'm glad they're coming back as well. I kind of want to see Ron Perlman again. The new kaijus look really cool, and it looks like they can regenerate themselves. Like if they get torn apart by a Jaeger or something, it looks like they can just chain themselves back together. How do you beat a kaiju like that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. In the end, I'm still kind of excited for Pacific Rim Uprising. Again, it might just be me being the optimist. The action does look really cool. They're tossing each other all around buildings and stuff. The whole city's getting annihilated. Looks fun. I really doubt it's going to be as good as the first one, because it doesn't have Guillermo del Toro behind it. Stephen S. DeKnight, who is directing this movie, has done a lot of TV. I know him from doing the Marvel Netflix shows, which are pretty good. So we'll see where it goes. I think this is his directorial debut for a movie. So we'll see. So have you seen the new trailer for Pacific Rim Uprising? What do you think about it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.